This morning, we're on the live drive once again, giving you the latest look at road conditions across the Madison area. Plus, the latest crash numbers from the DOT's towing fleets are running around the clock.
And we got those dangerous wind chills out there this morning. That'll be the rule for the next couple days, along with those blowing and drifting snow. I'll time out those wind speeds today and actually how warm we actually might get by next week.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning on a Friday morning. It is December 23rd. I'm Josh Sprider. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart is here with your first warning weather forecast. And yeah, it's cold out there. That wind is brutal.
Yeah, the wind chill, like I said, always 40 below temperature seems cold, but then 40 below wind chill is, to me, a whole different thing. Because
just about knocks you off your feet.
The wind just eats through everything, and that's the one thing. Cold without the wind is not that bad, actually. But yeah, we're dealing with that right now. We're getting the blowing and drifting of snow, but once again, that's more focused on the rural areas, ridge areas, higher elevations. They're going to see more of the worst conditions, those, especially further up north. Everyone's going to see the dangerous wind chills, and that's why we still got the alert day through Saturday. Once again, the worst conditions for driving probably be in the rural areas. Snow-wise, everything is pushed off to the east. Low is we're just getting the backside of it, but we're not going to see much in the way of actually falling snow. These are the current temperatures right now. We're around -9 to -12 degrees. We haven't seen much change that in the last couple hours. Those temperatures are not going to change much. Wind chill right now, generally 35 to 40 below is really the thing that we've seen. The worst probably wind chills will be this morning. We'll see a little bit improvement, obviously, as the temperature increases a little bit. Visibility right now, rural areas are starting to see 2.5 to 3 miles, and that is due to the blowing and drifting of the snow. More urban areas are not seeing that as well. Wind speeds right now, 15 to 20. We've seen some gusts as high as 35, like Dubuque has had that. So traveling-wise, if you're in the rural areas, definitely to pay attention to the blowing and drifting snow out there and low visibility. If you're not in more urban areas, everyone's going to see the wind chills too. So if you're definitely out there in the rural areas driving, that winter survival kit is something that's definitely needed. I'll time out when we'll actually see some improvement in these winds. And like I said, what we'll see for actually those temperatures come New Year's Eve.
All right, Greg, thank you. Yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing on the live drive this morning, too, with photojournalist Mark Schilling out on the roads. He says he is noticing those winds, especially traveling north. He is southbound right now near Cascade Mountain. Again, this is north of Madison. This is the interstate right now, which is clear, but those winds are really having an impact on travel at this hour. He said that a lot of big trucks have been pulled over because they've had to deal with those winds. He even saw one truck having to get towed this morning. So do keep that in mind if you're heading out right now. Again, very, very windy. We do expect some blowing snow throughout the day. Keep it here for updates throughout the morning. We are, of course, covering a lot of things, including the Wisconsin DOT, where traffic incidents have tripled since Thursday morning, along with 60 plow trucks on the road in the county. Towing fleets are running around the clock. And as tow truck drivers told our Armand Rahman, it is just the beginning.
It's the start of a long weekend, I believe.
But it's already a chaotic start for Liberty Towing's 18-truck fleet today.
We're over 100 calls today. I have no idea how many we've done off the top. We're still out running them.
Owner Rod Timmerman's crew is seeing the same messy driving as the rest of the state, with the DOT reporting dozens of crashes, hundreds of drivers needing assistance, and more than 70 runoffs by this afternoon.
A lot of slide-offs. There's been a lot of slide-offs. There's been a lot of people losing control on icy roads, hitting guardrails, and that kind of smashing up kind of stuff, hitting each other, jackknife semis.
Dane County highway officials say conditions are the worst on snow-covered, outlying, and country roads. At the same time, those are the ones plows are focusing less on to maintain the Beltline, interstate, and major roads around the clock. The Liberty Towing crew is prioritizing its calls, too.
Prioritize the ones of the people that are stranded, the ones that, may freeze, hypothermia, that kind of stuff out there. So we want to get to those people as fast as we possibly can.
It's a battle between coming to the rescue and making sure they won't need rescuing.
We are driving in the exact same conditions as all the people on the road. We've had some of our own equipment freezing up today, and the air systems in these trucks are freezing up, and diesels have been gelling up.
But Timmerman says he won't be surprised if the conditions start becoming unsafe for tow trucks too, resulting in more tow bans.
And I truly believe that Dane County has done that in the past, and I could see it coming again.
That was Armand Rahman reporting. Just like plow drivers, tow drivers emphasize the same thing. When you see them out working, slow down or move over if you can, and don't be the next crash they respond to. The The road conditions have been so bad that there have been many slide-offs in parts of our viewing area. Some counties have issued tow bans until conditions improve. In Iowa and Grant counties, if your car goes off the road today or tomorrow, you may have to be prepared to leave it behind. There aren't many people left on the UW-Madison campus, but for the few students with late finals and on-campus jobs, they say they're stuck there until the weather lets up. For now, the university hasn't announced any plans to shut down the campus. Leaders there told students they could stay through the storm, but would have to find their own meals. Some students are worried with the forecast it could be too dangerous.
We're just doing what the university wants us to do at the moment, and we're waiting to see if anything changes. Right. I think it would be in the interest of everybody's safety to probably just shut everything down.
The last time campus closed for heavy snow was in 2012. All students are encouraged to contact professors directly with those concerns. With temperatures dropping to dangerous low levels, it's imperative that you're prepared to battle this cold. Kelly Sear, a warning coordination meteorologist with the Weather Service, says frostbite could happen faster than you think in these negative temperatures.
Combined with the strong winds, that really creates this hazardous conditions to humans. Then it's just a matter of minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and your skin can start freezing.
Don't forget to take the proper precautions indoors. Let your water taps drip slightly to prevent freezing pipes. If the power goes out, don't leave candles unattended, and never use generators, grills, or camp stoves indoors or near windows. UW Health says its clinics and hospitals will be operating and seeing patients today. A spokesperson says they work to convert in-person appointments for today to telehealth visits where possible. They say clinics have rescheduled all visits to telehealth and will operate virtually, but will not be open for in-person visits today. For all of your local weather information on the go, be sure to download the free First Warn Weather and Traffic app. It is available for free right now in your app store. More news now at 6:06. Firefighters in Minnesota had to battle both heat and cold as what started as a small fire spread quickly into downtown Spring Grove last night. Fire crews were forced to shut down Highway 44, and the Minnesota Energy Cooperative shut down power on the south side of town so that fire crews could contain the flames. Fire crews responded and weren't able to put out the blaze until nearly 7 hours later. Local business owner Jen Gulbranson says community members have come together to find shelter and clothes for those displaced by the fire.
The hardware store had, I think, 6 or 7 apartments in it. So, of course, all the people that live in those apartments are people that we all know and live with here in this community. So it's a tragedy for them losing everything.
As the extreme cold temperatures played a factor, Gulbranson says fire crews faced the wind chill and she noticed water freezing as it was hitting the ground. The once-in-a-generation winter storm has created chaos in the Midwest. Already thousands of flights have been canceled or delayed, disrupting travel plans just 2 days ahead of Christmas. The icy conditions have millions of Americans changing their travel plans. For those who are hitting the roads and hitting the skies, according to FlightAware, more than 12,000 flights have been canceled or delayed.
Like even in the areas that have been plowed really well, if you get above 40 miles an hour, you start sliding around.
I have this insane itinerary now. It's been a little nerve-wracking.
Even after the storm passes, the severe cold freezing much of the country could slow down the airline's recovery plans for days. It is 6:08, and coming up, we're taking a look back at all of the fun December brought us this season in the 6:08. And our live drive coverage continues as we continue tracking the road conditions as you're heading out this morning. We'll be right back.
My favorite time of year is finally here. Toyotathon is on. Who's crafty?
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan and roadside assistance. Toyota, let's go places.
Here, have a Triscuit.
Bring on the zest with fire-roasted tomato and olive oil. Bring it with Triscuit.
Oh my gosh, wow. Who am I? Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Annette, and I'm an actress. Under eye bags and wrinkles are so frustrating. They're so hard to hide and so hard to get rid of. I came across Plexiderm, and I was so excited. We have a model. His name is Richie, and all he's doing is taking a small amount. It's so powerful. That's all it takes. And what I love about Plexiderm is this is something that you can do in the convenience of your own home. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, "Hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm. Please send me more." It's a cream. It's a topical. It literally creates an invisible layer that tightens the skin and smooths it out. All you do is gently rub it underneath your eyes, on your fine lines and wrinkles, and it visibly disappears in as little as 10 minutes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
I can't even believe that this worked. I was a little skeptical, I am not going to lie, because I saw people online with it. I'm like, yeah, right, that can't possibly work. I'm telling you, it really works.
I thought I might see a little difference, but to see that big of a difference, I have so many dark circles, I have the puffiness, I have the lines, like, it's amazing.
You have an event, you have any of those moments where you want to feel the best about yourself, I am telling you, the videos that you see on social media and TV are real.
This holiday season is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Waiting. Sometimes it's just inevitable. But if you're over 50 or live with a chronic condition, untreated COVID could be deadly. Got COVID symptoms? Get tested and get treated right away. It can't wait.
My favorite time of year is finally here. Toyotathon is on. Who's crafty?
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan and roadside assistance. Toyota, let's go places.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
In the 608 this morning, let's see how Southern Wisconsin is sharing inspiration this holiday season. Here's a look back at all of the fun the month of December brought us in the 608.
Look.
Ooh, she looks good.
'Cause it's perfect.
And it has just proven to be, like, I think the best one that we've done yet. This is year 4 for us in this format, and it just keeps getting better.
And what this does, it gets people to come out and try a new spot. And you can't have a repeat customer unless they come in for the first time. So that's really what we're trying to do, is make it more fun.
So far this year, we've raised $67,000. That is on track. Last year, we raised over $105,000 for 3 food pantries here in Dane County.
Things got weird, fast, in a really beautiful way to build connection.
I think it's really cool when you find like a Post-it note you can relate with.
Senior student Tana Rada tells me finding that connection helps in making this sticky note classroom feel like home.
With Miss Doucette, like, she's really a personal teacher and she gets to know you, and I think that's a really great way to connect with your students.
Today we'll be sending out our 100,000th book out to kids in the Madison area.
100,000 in 2022. I mean, that's pretty amazing just to see the difference that you're already making. Remember, you can always go back and watch our features by going to channel3000.com and clicking on the In the 608 tab. There's also the interactive map for you to see all of the places we've been across southern Wisconsin. You can let me know what inspires you in the 608 by reaching out either on social media or email for a chance to be featured. All right, over to Greg Barnhart now with a check of your first warn weather forecast. A cold start out there, Greg.
It is definitely. If you look at the big picture map right now, if you're traveling anywhere to the east, you're going to see this cold temperatures all the way down. These are the high temperatures for today. 36 in Brownsville. These are, and the color shade behind it is how far below or above average it is. So everyone east pretty much is going to be well below average. The warm spot this year, at least this Christmas, is going to be southwestern U.S. for 68 for Phoenix, and the upper 60s as you go through Southern California. They got the ridge. We're going to see some some of this eventually, but it's going to take some time to get here. If you're out and about, we also talked about the winter survival kit, especially in the rural areas, even with cell phone coverage nowadays. Definitely to have this, so if you get stuck or in places where you have to sit, you can survive when you see 40 below wind chills. So definitely an idea, once again, if you're traveling, to have these kits in your car for today. We're going to have the winter storm warning until 6 a.m. for tomorrow. More of the rural areas are going to see the worst conditions, at least the blowing and drifting. That includes you get blizzard conditions in Iowa and Minnesota. More rural areas are on top of the ridges, too, where the more exposed areas you can get the reduced visibility. Everyone will see the dangerous wind chills. The good news, we're done kind of with the snow accumulation. We'll see a few snow showers, flurries through Saturday, but the main issue is still going to be blowing and drifting in the rural areas mainly, and then the dangerous low wind chills. We are going to see some improvement on that by we get to tomorrow. Still cold, but maybe not quite as bad as today, and then improvement will continue on Christmas. Right now, you look at the big picture, we're still in the influences of that low to the east, that northwest flow. The snow is staying over to the lakes and those areas, but we're not going to see much in the way of that. Cloud cover will persist, but we're going to start seeing clearing skies. Unfortunately, the temperatures won't respond well to that. Today, temperatures will eventually make it up to maybe 0 by this evening, along with those winds, but still fairly cold day. You can see as you get towards 7 p.m. in that time, we're starting to make it to 0. And actually overnight, we may stay right here too with this temperature, so it may not be as cold as you wake up tomorrow morning, at least temperature-wise. Wind chills-wise still. Winds today, 25 to 30, even 35, a little bit higher. We'll see winds continue tomorrow, but you'll notice a little bit of a trend downwards as we get through tomorrow afternoon. The winds will start letting up. Once again, the rural areas on top of ridges, those where you could see wind gusts maybe up to 50 at times. The urban areas and sheltered areas is not bad. Wind chills today, this morning, definitely will be in the danger area. We'll probably get up into about the 10 to 20 range we get this afternoon, and then tonight maybe get back down into 30s. Once again, still dangerous even in the 20 below, but the worst ones will be this morning. As you see, we get towards tomorrow, we're seeing still wind chills in the 10 to 20 below range. Once we get to Sunday, Christmas Day, still cold, 10, but not as much as wind going on. And then we start to turn those temperatures around. Like I said, that warm air out west, we're going to see a pattern change. So we're going to start getting some of that. We're going to see maybe 40 degrees by Thursday. But unfortunately, we're going to see more unsettled weather with rain coming into the picture as we get closer to New Year's Eve.
All right, Greg, thank you. 6:16 now, we're on the live drive near Cascade Mountain. You can see the mountain right there to your right. This is the interstate, of course, giving you a closer look at what you can expect out on the roadways at this hour. Interstate in this area is looking pretty clear, but photojournalist Mark Schilling says those winds are noticeable out there as he's driving along, especially when he was headed north, right into those winds. Southbound is a little bit easier as far as that goes, but do keep in mind there will be some tricky spots out there. We'll have more live drive updates from Mark coming up in just a few minutes.
When you think of wrestling coaches, you think of an intense, loud person that's always moving. Not really the case for Mineral Point's Curtis Fiedler. He stays true to himself on the mat and asks his pointers to do the same. Mineral Point Wrestling,
we want to dominate our opponents.
Here we go, ready?
Has a long history of success.
Yeah, winning makes a lot of things fun.
And all this group wants is to keep it rolling.
Keep the tradition going and keep doing what Mineral Point does best.
To do that, they're following the lead of Curtis Fiedler.
I go against a lot of what wrestling coaches are. Hey, happening. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine. You know.
A man who's not your traditional wrestling coach.
It definitely does add to the team because there's joking around sometimes. He likes to enlighten the mood of a bunch of us, so he's fun to be around.
And that calm, cool demeanor is a reminder to his team to be themselves.
Just to tell me that be yourself out there, wrestle how you would always wrestle, and just wrestle as hard as you can, and that's all you can ask for.
Or as Fiedler likes to say,
okay, now stop.
You be you.
I don't want robots in there. Yes, I want hard workers. Yes, I want intense guys and girls that are going to work their tail off and do what's expected of them. But, you know, show off your personality a bit. Flash a smile.
Because when you're true to yourself,
I don't want them to be anyone else. I want them to be themselves, because when they're themselves, they're unstoppable.
It's hard to take you down.
That away, fellas. That away, fellas.
And don't forget to nominate your coach to be our next Coach of the Week. Just head to the sports page on our website and fill out the nomination form, or you can send me an email describing how your coach goes above and beyond for his or her athletes. After 5 seasons leading the Badger outside linebackers, Bobby April is leaving Madison to run the Cardinal defense. Stanford officially named April their new defensive coordinator. Under his tutelage, Zach Bond and Nick Herbig earned All-American status, and Andrew Van Ginkel became an NFL draft pick. And Wisconsin's game against Grambling State tonight has been called off because, well, you guessed it, the weather. The Badgers will be off until next Friday when they wrap up their non-conference schedule against Western Michigan. But don't be surprised if Greg Gard finds somebody to play between now and then. Back to you.
All right, Zach, thank you very much. Quick correction to an earlier story we brought you this morning. We originally said UW Health will not be open for in-person visits today. UW Health says its hospitals and clinics will be operating and seeing patients in person today. A spokesperson says they work to convert in-person appointments for today to telehealth visits where possible. Coming up, people are talking after Santa's singing of the national anthem. And in our next half hour, we take a ride along with a snowplow driver to show what it's like behind the wheel.
Happy holidays from all of us at WISC-TV.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
My name's Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
Garage doors do not like the cold weather at all. As soon as it gets cold, springs, parts will burn.
At Precision, we can fix any make or model, usually the same day.
Rain, sleet, or snow, we're good to go.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Never have I ever put literally every single item in our store on sale, even the items that never go on sale. Every item?
Join us now through December 24th for our never on sale sale. Only at Rogers and Hollins.
How do you use your energy? Inspiring a spark of creativity? Working hard to reach your goals? Thinking outside the box to bring your vision to life? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power, we're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
At Chevy, the holidays mean going places and doing things you love to do with friends and family. Visit your local Chevy dealer, and when you find your red tag, you find your deal. Then make the most of your time with the people who matter most. Find new moments, find new roads. Well-qualified buyers can get 3.99% financing plus $500 red tag bonus cash on all Equinox models, or get $1,500 total cash allowance when you find your red tag. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-336-0524. 1-800-336-0524.
I was born here, I'm from here, and I'm never leaving here. I'm a New York hotel. Yeah, I'm tall, 563 feet and 2 inches. I'm on top of the world. I'm looking for someone who likes to be in the middle of it all, but also likes some peace and quiet. You hungry? I know a place, and a few others nearby. It's the city that never sleeps. But hey, if you need the rest, I've got you covered.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobuson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobuson.com to apply.
We're back at 6:23 this morning. We've been asking you to share your morning with us, and we've got one to celebrate here at News 3 Now. That is Leah Lynchide, a little throwback picture from her reporting days here. She is celebrating 10 years with our parent company, that's Morgan Murphy Media. She started off at WKBT in La Crosse in her early years, then of course moved down here to WISC-TV. She started on the weekends. Now she's our morning anchor. We are so lucky to have her. Now she's on maternity leave. We're still on baby watch.
Yep.
I was texting her yesterday. No updates as far as that goes. So we're still waiting for the baby boy to arrive sometime here within the next few days. So stay tuned to that. Again, we're celebrating Leah. Happy 10th year here at Morgan Murphy Media, Leah. We are so lucky to have you.
Remember, pride of Southwest Wisconsin?
Yes, Southwest Wisconsin proud. Yeah, she's so proud to be from here, and we're very, very lucky to have her right here at News 3 Now. Remember, you can always share us share a picture with us. You can use the hashtag MyNews3Morning. We love to share those photos around this time every morning. Well, before the Notre Dame and Florida State basketball game this week, Santa Claus sang the national anthem, and it has people talking this morning. Take a listen.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag...
You can tell people are like trying to stay serious, but they can't.
Love it.
That is funny. Boy, Santa's got some pipes.
Definitely.
That is hilarious. That guy is going to have that video circulating around for a long time, I think. I know I couldn't do it.
Ah, man, yeah. I'd get into Miss Keys and all that. That would be the problem. Man, he's just bellowing it out like
I love
crazy.
how they slowly zoom in to get people's reactions.
They're like, wow. Love it.
Too funny. Well, hey, Merry Christmas Eve. We've got a lot to talk about when it comes to the forecast, of course, because, I mean, it is cold. Yeah, we're kind of on that last punch here where it's dangerous out there.
It's like the third phase of the storm now. Well, second, third phase of the wind and the cold. And really, everyone's going to see the cold. More of the rural areas will probably see the reduced visibility. You can see Dubuque down to Platteville. Ridge areas up there getting the reduced visibility due to the blowing and drifting snow. Wind chills give you an idea here just for sea locations. Everyone's going to be kind of in the same boat here with 30 to 40 below this morning. You can see over time they will improve a little bit, but still we're going to be 20 below or less pretty much through Saturday with these wind chills. Obviously this morning is probably going to be the coldest, near 40 below. That's the things to know as we look through that. We're going to see some improvement with the winds tomorrow. Better shot we get to Sunday. The winter storm, obviously, through the alert day goes through Saturday. And the good news in the extended, we are going to warm up next week.
All right, Greg, thank you. Stay with us. Time right now, 6:26. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
At the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event, you can make maintenance cost worries so last year. Hurry in to lease a new 2023 Taos for 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month payment, and 0 due at signing. Limited inventory available.
You can get any phone you want.
Any one I want?
Any phone you want.
Connection is the greatest gift of all. At U.S. Cellular, we're offering any phone free for new and current customers, plus $100 to spend on accessories.
Family-owned Brothers Maine knows choosing appliances for a remodel or new build can be exciting and overwhelming. Our experienced staff has experienced it all as we've guided thousands of area families through appliance selection. Brothers Maine has a larger inventory and low-price deals that consistently beat competitors, including Big Box. You heard me, Big Box can't beat our prices. From sales to install, Brothers Maine does it all. Feel great about your purchases and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Why
get the updated COVID-19 vaccine? Because life's a little better when we're all boosted. It's the best way to protect yourself from COVID-19's most serious effects, especially if you're over 50 or have a weaker immune system. Give your health a boost. Find the updated COVID-19 vaccine near you at dhs.wisconsin.gov/vaccine.
And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand when everything's made to be broken. I just want you to know I am. I just want you to know
Need life insurance? Select Quote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And Select Quote found his wife Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
Our secret? At Select Quote, we aggressively comparison shop up to 10 highly rated companies to find you the company with the best rates. Why pay more? Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. Select Quote. We shop, you save.
At the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event, you can make maintenance cost worries so last year. Hurry in to lease a new 2023 Tiguan for 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 do it signing. Limited inventory available.
This morning, road conditions are so bad in parts of our viewing area, tow vans are in place. Plus, how one man is sharing his experience of frostbite as extreme cold settles in heading into the holiday weekend.
Yeah, and those dangerous cold conditions continue today with wind chills as low as 40 below. I'll time out when we'll see some improvement in those temperatures, and especially when we'll see some improvement in those winds.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning on a Friday morning. It is December 23rd. I'm Josh Breiter. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart is here now with your first warn weather forecast. Very, very cold on this Christmas Eve.
Yeah, cold. That's
It's
about
cold.
the big thing you say. It's cold out there, and with that wind chill, it definitely feels cold. So we've seen 40 below wind chills, some blowing and drifting, but that's more for the rural areas. I think everyone's going to see at least the cold wind chills through the next probably 4 to 8 hours. Even on Christmas Day, it's not going to be that warm yet. But the rural areas could see the more blizzard conditions, especially further north and west, because of the blowing and drifting and those winds. But everyone's going to see those wind chills. Right now, 35 to 40 below in some cases for most of the location. 40 below up there in Watoma. You have 35 below in Dubuque too right now. So that's been kind of the rule for the last several hours, and we'll probably see a little bit of improvement in this as the temperature goes up, but still, they'll be well below 20 below. The good news is we have no falling snow going on right now. Everything is pushed off to the east, so we're not going to see any of that much today. Maybe a few flurries or something like that. Current temperatures right now, we haven't seen those change much. -8 to about -12 in most areas right now. Those temperatures as you go through the rest of the day aren't going to improve much either. Wind speeds right now generally about 15 to 20 miles per hour with some higher gusts. Once again, ridge lines, rural areas, exposed areas, that's where the strongest winds will be, and that's where you get the lower visibilities right now. 2.5 miles Dubuque, 1 3/4 miles of Platteville. Because of the blowing and drifting of snow, even Monroe's got a little bit of that too. So rural areas, that's the main issue. As you time out, we're going to eventually get to 0, but it's going to take quite a bit of time. Those winds will remain strong all day, so obviously the wind chills will be well below 0. As you look at the road conditions right now for travel-wise, incidences, obviously it's Friday before Christmas, so there's not quite the volume of traffic out there right now. As we zoom out, overall maybe some slow spots just due to road conditions, but overall there's no incidents to speak of right now. I'll time out when to expect those winds to improve and exactly how warm we actually might get towards New Year's in a little bit later in the broadcast.
All right, Greg, thank you. Time right now is 6:32. We're on live drive this morning. This is the interstate north of Madison. Photojournalist Mark Schilling is heading southbound right now, and he tells us that he is starting to see a little bit of a change in visibility. You can actually see some of that blowing snow out there at this hour. Again, that is the main concern as we go throughout the day. Even though there's no more snow falling, it is the blowing snow with those high winds that are going to be a major, major problem. He has noticed several semis pulled over this morning because of those winds. So if you were out traveling, keep that in mind, especially if you're going to be heading north and west of Madison. You might be dealing with quite a bit of that blowing snow. At this time, Alliant Energy's 400 customers we reported earlier this morning without power have had it restored. Their website says that they expect to return power by 6 o'clock this morning. They had that done well ahead of time. MG&E is reporting no outages, but with the high wind and freezing wind chills, we do expect to see some customers without power in our viewing area. Looking over at the flight monitor at the Dane County Regional Airport, it looks like flight cancellations are starting to slowly trickle in as the monitor shifts from green to red. Well, the road conditions have been so bad in parts of our viewing area, some counties have had towing bans issued until conditions improve. In Grant and Iowa counties, if your car goes off the road in the next day or two, be prepared to leave it behind. Take a look at this video from the Beltline, a series of plow trucks all working together to clear the highway in one continuous line. This video has picked up national attention as our plow drivers worked all through the night to make sure that our roads are as safe as possible. Well, we've been telling you for days to stay inside during these cold temperatures, but not everyone can do that. In the case of one plow driver in Prairie du Sac, he's made some adjustments to help his team out during this busy time. Our Catherine Merck took a ride along with him to show what it's like behind the wheel.
Here in Prairie du Sac, it's all hands on deck. They have all their plows and all their crews out on the streets, making sure the roads are clear for people like you. But for these crews, it means making some sacrifices. For one of these drivers, his special day took a little bit of a detour with this winter storm. These snowplow crews know that winter storm days mean lots of time thinking about clearing the roads.
Obviously, it's a snow emergency or a storm emergency. It's however long it takes. That could be 12 hours, it could be a couple hours.
For Dylan Shaker, that means a lot less time thinking about himself.
Today is my birthday. The boss called me last night and asked if I could come in. Absolutely. I don't want to leave the crew or my teammates out to dry, so if they're gonna work, I'm gonna work.
These drivers are pretty patient and professional.
The Director of Public Works and Utilities says this is just the beginning of long days for plow crews. High winds and cold temperatures are making the usual strategies to get the snow off the roads more difficult.
Even this truck here, full of salt, you know, these roads with it froze down the way it is, that truck can slide all over.
The truck can kind of slide through intersections at times if you're not careful.
On the day he's celebrating his 29th year, Dylan's spending lots of time thinking about the best parts of the job.
Growing up as a kid, you always wanted to play with big trucks, and now I get to do it every day, so it's pretty fun.
He's still mostly thinking about the parts that don't involve himself.
I'm very fortunate to have the crew that I do and get to work with them.
This isn't the end of this winter storm. Crews in Prairie du Sac are planning to continue to be out on the roads through the weather alert day that we have in our forecast until Saturday morning. Make sure to stick with us on our social media pages and on our website at channel3000.com for the latest forecast. Reporting in Prairie du Sac, I'm Catherine Merck for News 3 Now.
With these cold temperatures, it is always a good thing to be mindful of the dangers of frostbite. Single-digit temperatures are cold enough to cause frostbite, and the colder those temperatures, the faster that frostbite sets in. When the wind chill is 15 degrees below zero, frostbite can set in under a half hour of exposure. One grandpa in Minnesota learned that lesson the hard way and has a stark warning for those outside during the winter months.
I had made a mistake, a very serious one. When you think that things are okay, check again.
That was Jeffrey Papa Love from Minneapolis as he's recovering from frostbite. Love says that he is lucky. Doctors say he will likely be able to keep his toes. To prevent frostbite, be sure to wear layers, protect your hands, feet, and ears, and try to limit outside exposure in these sub-zero temperatures. So we want to clarify an earlier story this morning. We originally said UW Health will not be open for in-person visits today. UW Health says its hospitals and clinics will be operating and seeing patients in person today for normal operations. A spokesperson tells us they work to convert in-person appointments for today to telehealth visits where possible. But again, they are open today. Our pets are just as sensitive to cold temperatures as we are. Experts at the Cooley Region Humane Society say that you can still take your pets for a walk in lower temperatures, but that you should limit the amount of time spent outside. The trade-off could be more shorter walks rather than one long walk. Also, though most pets have fur, that does not mean they are immune to cold.
You can, withstand the cold temperatures. Huskies are double coated, but it's that wind that It can still cause frostbite. If it's too cold for us, it's too cold for them.
When you get back home, it is recommended that you check your pet's paws for salt and warm them up if you can. Experts also say that you should check on livestock as well, giving them about 25% more food than usual, because when animals shiver, they burn calories. Remember, you can always stay on top of the changing conditions by downloading the free First Warn Weather app. Just search for WISC Weather in your app store. It is 6:38. Live look outside right now. We are tracking another alert day for blowing snow and those extreme cold temperatures and wind chills. Greg is back with an update in your First Warn weather forecast. And a preview of the Andy North Trivia Night, a fundraising event that benefits the Carbone Cancer Center. Lee Lynchide sits down with him when we come back.
Celebrate home for the holidays with a better night's sleep at Ashley. Save up to 55% off mattresses, including this Beauty Rest Select Queen Hybrid. Receive a comforter, 2 pillows, and a 4-piece sheet set for free with purchase. And free delivery, all for less than $21 a month, only at Ashley.
Start the new year off right during the final days of the Ford Shine Bright sales event. Don't miss your chance to choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order, lock in your rate, and you're protected. Plus, new inventory is still arriving daily, so you could drive one home today. This season, get into a 2022 Explorer SUV with 2.9% financing for 60 months at your local Ford dealer, and shine bright.
When it's a precious surprise, it's more than a gift.
I get to see what Santa left for me.
Garage doors are just like us. They don't like the cold weather. But if it breaks, Precision Garage Door is always ready. We always show up in a fully stocked vehicle so we can get the job done today.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Introducing Sass, Sauce and Shells, a bold new restaurant on Madison's Capitol Square, combining the best of barbecue and shelled seafood by Chef Joe Perkins. Add a little sass to your lunch or dinner plans today. Open 7 days a week.
There's always a fresh deal on the Subway app, like this one. 50% off? That deal's so good, we don't even need an 8-time All-Star to tell you about it.
Wait, what?
Get it before it's gone on the Subway app.
The holidays are for making memories, and you can count on Honda to help you make them. Whether it's in a capable Ridgeline, adventurous CRV, a rugged Passport, or a dynamic Pilot. Start making memories of your own with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Celebrate home for the holidays at Ashley. Save big on furniture and mattresses with discounts from 30% off and up to 83% off on closeouts. Plus, our gift to you, free white glove delivery. Furnish a room for less than $20 a month, only at Ashley. News 3 Now, First Warn Weather before.
We do have the alert day for that winter storm coming through.
During.
Those roads are going to be very treacherous throughout the course of this morning.
You want to keep a good follow distance, and that's about 8 seconds when it snows.
And after the storms.
The snow is over with, but we're going to see some fog, some drizzle, and perhaps some freezing drizzle because of the melting of the snow, adding some moisture to the air.
Keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. Your certified most accurate team, First Warn Weather, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
We're back at 6:41, 2 months until a big event makes its return to Madison, and we want to make sure you're in the loop to get tickets before they sell out like they usually do. We're talking about the Andy North Trivia Night, a fundraising event that benefits the Carbone Cancer Center. Lee Lynchide sat down with him to hear how big of an impact this event has on our community.
For folks who aren't aware, where does all of this money go to?
It's all directly to research for Carbone Cancer Center, which has been fantastic. Every dollar you give the Carbone directly ends up coming out the other end of the pipeline with about $15 because of grant money and all the other stuff that happens.
I've been lucky enough to volunteer at this event. Last year, I think we had a record-breaking event, $60,000 or more going toward cancer research. For folks, you know, who might not know your affiliation, why do you get involved every year?
I've been involved a long time. I've been on the cancer board for years. My mom had cancer. My dad died of cancer. I've had it. Susan's had it. You know, it's just it's part of life. You know, you're going to have it. So the more research we can do, the more dollars we can raise, and the more great things that Carbone can do in the research end of it is going to save a lot of lives and a lot of heartbreak for a lot of families.
I think you just said something that's true for everybody. Everybody knows someone who's been touched by cancer, right?
If you don't, you're living under a rock someplace.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I don't know many families that haven't been impacted one way or another, let alone friends and other people you know. So it's a neat way to give back to the community and really do some good things. And what's happened in the world of cancer in the last 10 years has been amazing. The death rates are going down. The good things they're doing, particularly with children's cancer, is great.
The event itself is so much fun. The energy in the room is infectious, honestly. So we've got about 2 months here. We wanted to get the word out early. What's the date again?
February 15th. So if you're recovering from Valentine's Day, this would be a good way to go out and have some fun and get back on board. But it's at the Sylvie, which it's a fantastic venue. If you haven't been there, it's fun, and there'll be a lot of people, a lot of food and fun, and it's an evening that goes very quickly. You know, all of a sudden you look at your watch and, gee, we've been here for a couple hours and it's over. You know, so it's a lot of fun, and the best part is we raise a lot of money, and people have been fantastic with it.
Well, come see Andy, and I'll be there. I cannot miss this event, even though I will be on maternity leave. I will not miss this event. It's one of my favorite. Stay tuned. We'll have all of the details on how you can get a ticket or a table for your company, for your family. We would love to see you there again, February 15th at the Sylvie. Check channel3000.com for all the details. Andy, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
6:44 right now. Let's get to Greg Barnhart with your first warned weather. Greg?
Yeah, we've explained all about wind chill and how quickly it can, you know, at these temperatures you get frostbite. And really, once you get down to 30 to 40 below, you're only looking at maybe 5 to 10 minutes of exposure time to get that too. So that's the way. Like I said, wind chill takes that body heat that's around you away from you. That's the wind effect of it doing. So that's why sometimes 40 below actual temperature is a lot different than 40 below wind chill. It feels different too. We looked at visibility. Like I said, urban areas not seeing too much of this. You go out west, here's some visibilities out in southern Minnesota too. That is almost near blizzard conditions. That is just due to the blowing and drifting of the snow right now. So that's the idea we're concerned about. More open areas, rural areas could see that issue with the blowing and drifting, and that's why they do have blizzard warnings out there till 6 a.m. Saturday. We still got winter storm warnings, and that's really once again for the blowing and drifting, the visibility reduction, and the wind chills till 6 a.m. Saturday. We may see some blowing and drifting continue after that. As you look at the travel threats too, the accumulating snow, the good thing is that's done with. Few flurries through Saturday, or excuse me, today, but otherwise we shouldn't see much of that. The really hazardous conditions, they're going to peak today. We're going to see a little bit of improvement tomorrow. Still some areas of blowing and drifting, especially in rural areas, and that could continue all the way through Christmas. We just won't see as widespread, and our wind chills won't be as low, but still it's going to be cold through Christmas. You see, we're still in the influences of the backside of that low as it pushes east. Most of the snow is now lake effect up to the north or to the east. We're going to see a little bit of cloud cover reduced over time, but that's not really going to do much with our temperatures. The winds will continue out of the northwest all the way through Saturday, and then finally by Sunday I think we'll see a good reduction in the winds with another little system coming here that'll be a Sunday night, Monday system for us with a little bit of snow, nothing like we saw right now. Right now the temperatures will start to improve here today just a little bit. We'll get up towards maybe 0 by this evening. Then overnight, once again, we might actually stay steady overnight just due to the wind speed continuing, although the wind chills will still be low. As you wake up tomorrow morning, we should be actually warmer than we were today, but it doesn't mean much with the wind chill, still probably around 30 below with those winds continuing. And then Saturday, a little bit warmer, a little bit less wind, but overall not a huge improvement. Wind-wise today, 25 to 30. We'll see this gust near a 40, even higher in more of the rural areas. As we go through tomorrow, Saturday, we'll see a little bit more improvement, but still, once again, the rural areas, you can kind of see an outline on the higher elevation areas where you could see more sustained of 30, 35 with stronger gusts. So blowing and drifting will continue, and even if the winds lighten up Sunday, we'll probably still see some blowing and drifting. Now, this is going to be a fairly cold Christmas. Last year was 43. We've had a string of decent Christmases, but this definitely is going to top the list for the coldest one, at least since 2017 when we were 15. Notice in 2019 we were 55 degrees, so definitely a change. Those temperatures might be what we'll see coming to New Year's. As you look at the 10-day, we're going to flip the switch once we get to next week. We're going to be warmer than average with some rain probably coming in towards New Year's Eve and New Year's Day maybe. So definitely a switch there. So something to keep in mind if you got New Year's plans. It's It's going to be wet. It could be a little mild. Could be some fog issues going on. It could kind of be a sloppy mess out there with snow on the ground. But just be careful the next couple days we go through Christmas with those dangerous wind chills out there.
All right, Greg, thank you. Time right now is 6:47. We are on the live drive at this hour. Photojournalist Mark Schilling near DeForest right now. This is the interstate. Things are looking pretty clear out there, but he has noticed at least one slide off near Highway 19. A car had just slid off the road and hit a pole. The folks were fine there, but just an example of the conditions that we're seeing. Even though it looks fine, there still are slick spots out there, and we have seen quite a bit of that blowing snow over the roadway. So do keep that in mind if you're doing any traveling. Again, the DOT is urging folks to stay home. They're working hard to make the roads safe, but the weather certainly not helping them in doing that. In the 608 this morning, let's see how southern Wisconsin is sharing inspiration this holiday season. We have a look back at all of the fun the month of December brought us, along with some of those inspirational folks here in the 608.
Look!
Ooh, she looks good.
'Cause it's perfect.
And it has just proven to be, like, I think the best one that we've done yet. This is year 4 for us in this format, and it just keeps getting better.
And what this does, it gets people to come out and try a new spot. And you can't have a repeat customer unless they come in for the first time. So that's really what we're trying to do, is make it more fun.
So far this year we've raised $67,000. That is on track. Last year we raised over $105,000 for 3 food pantries here in Dane County.
Things got weird, fast, in a really beautiful way to build connection.
I think it's really cool when you find like a post-it note you can relate with.
Senior student Tana Rada tells me finding that connection helps in making this sticky note classroom feel like home.
With Miss Doucette, like, she's really a personal teacher and she gets to know you, and I think that's a really great way to connect with your students.
Today we'll be sending out our 100,000th book out to kids in the Madison area.
100,000 in 2022. I mean, that's pretty amazing just to see the difference that you're already making. What a fun month here. Remember, you can always go back and watch our features by going to channel3000.com. There's an interactive map for you to see all of the places we've been across southern Wisconsin. Remember to let me know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out either on social media or email for a chance to be featured. All right, we want to take a live look right now at our booth. Producer Shelby, give a wave here. Rocking the Christmas sweater. It is Shelby Evans' final day here at News 3 Now this morning. Shelby has spent many, many nights putting together this show. That means coming in late in the evening around 11 o'clock, working all the way through the morning hours. So she is a night owl. Today is her final day. So Shelby, we are so sad to see you go, but very, very excited to see where your future is going to go. It has been an honor to have you part of this show. Again, a lot of folks behind the scenes making this show happen each and every morning. They are here 24 hours a day. So Shelby is just one of them. She's also training our new producer, Cody Barnes, there right next. Cody, you can give a wave as well. Again, we are very, very lucky to have incredible folks here at News 3 Now this morning. Shelby, good luck and Merry, Merry Christmas to you. She is excited. Look at that. She's already gone. 6:51 right now. Coming up in the morning sprint, an update with road conditions on the live drive. But first, it is December 23rd. We want to say happy birthday to Madison and all the other kids turning 3 today. We'll be right back.
Watch News 3 Now at 6 with Eric, Charlotte, Gary, and Zach. Weeknights.
Sometimes a cough isn't just a cough, so it's better to be prepared. Binax Now gives you reliable results in 15 minutes and detects multiple variants, including Omicron BA.5. Binax Now, the #1 COVID-19 self-test in the U.S.
My brother got me this ring when he was serving overseas. He didn't make it home, but his best friend makes sure I got it. I guess this ring is double special to me because it introduced me to the man that would become my husband, and it was the last gift that I got from my brother and my hero.
Express your extraordinary love. Jared, love brilliantly.
Waiting sometimes is just inevitable. But if you're over 50 or live with a chronic condition, waiting could be deadly because conditions like heart disease or diabetes raise your risk of serious illness or death from untreated COVID. And if you don't get treatment within days, you may not be able to get treatment. So, got COVID symptoms? Get tested and get treated right away. It can't wait.
They always say Kim never sticks to her New Year's resolutions. But this year, she's resolved to save money and worry less. And with the new Volkswagen SUV, she can save on maintenance over the next 5 years. So who knows where Kim's resolutions might take her year after year. At the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event, you too can make maintenance cost worries so last year. Hurry in to lease a new 2023 Taos for 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first one's payment, and 0 due at signing. Limited inventory available.
A must in your medicine cabinet. Less sick days.
Cold coming on? Zicam is the #1 cold shortening brand.
Highly recommended.
Zyfans love Zicam's unique zinc formula.
It shortens colds.
Zicam Zinc That Cold.
It's Santa. We got a problem.
Hold on.
Ho, ho, ho!
Why get the updated COVID-19 vaccine? Because life's a little better when we're all boosted. It's the best way to protect yourself from COVID-19's most serious effects, especially if you're over 50 or have a weaker immune system. Give your health a boost. Find the updated COVID-19 vaccine near you at dhs.wisconsin.gov/vaccine.
Sometimes a cough isn't just a cough, so it's better to be prepared. Binax Now gives you reliable results in 15 minutes and detects multiple variants, including Omicron BA.5. Binax Now, the #1 COVID-19 self-test in the U.S.
Call for action only on News 3 Now.
6:54, time for the morning sprint. We start with the latest live drive look at the roads on this Friday morning as we go into Christmas. As the daylight starts to arrive here, we are noticing a little bit more out on the roadways. We've seen quite a bit of blowing snow. This is the interstate south of Madison. If you are heading out, do keep in mind there are a lot of winds out there blowing some snow around. Photojournalist Mark Schilling has noticed quite a few semis pulled over along the side of the road due to that wind. The road is looking pretty clear here, but there are some slick and snow spots out there as it is too cold for that salt to be effective right now. So keep that in mind if you're doing any holiday travel. Please keep it slow. Well, crews were out removing hazardous icicles above Interstate 5 in Seattle. 3 lanes of that interstate were closed to clear the hazards from the roof of a convention center tunnel ceiling. They have since reopened, but it is just one of the many challenges this storm is creating nationwide.
We're not done with COVID because COVID is not done with us.
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is leaning toward the possibility of implementing a mask advisory if the current trend of COVID-19 cases continues to soar. Lightfoot says if and when the Chicago area reaches a high level of community spread, the mask advisory will ask Chicagoans to wear masks in indoor settings.
Yeah, we still got the bitter cold right now, but the good news is the snow has kind of ended. Actually, the blowing snow, the radar's picking up the blowing snow in Iowa. You can see a little speck showing up there. That's because of the snow. Also, keep in mind that we have visibilities right now, 2.5 to 3 miles in certain areas, but the drifting of the snow across roads can create just as hazardous conditions, too. You don't even need the blowing snow once again, too. So keep in mind if you head out to the rural areas, that's really going to be the deal. The wind chills, everyone's going to see this today, regardless of where you are with the cold wind chills. Going to be 35 below. We should see a little bit improvement, but still 25 to 35 below all day, and that'll extend through tomorrow too. Something to keep in mind of as we go through. 3 things to know, like I said, already mentioned a little bit of improvement with the winds tomorrow. The winter storm alert day continues through Saturday, and then it looks like it warms up by next week.
We'll be right back with an update.